So let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts. They have a new hopeful star quarterback, potentially. I said potentially, okay? New hopeful guy at the position in Anthony Richardson. And to me, the Colts selecting Anthony Richardson in the NFL draft as a top 5 pick, it's grown on me. The reason why it's grown on me is because, first of all, every indication shows that Anthony Richardson is an adult in the room. He's a grown-up. You know, you're not going to get a Johnny Manziel. You're not going to get a Josh Rosen. Two guys that were kind of immature, really didn't, have a locker room that captivated towards them, didn't necessarily have the leadership skills. So, to me, that's a box that I like to have checked. And when we think of the special quarterbacks of recent memory, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Cam Newtons, the Tom Bradys, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, you know what those guys are? They were big, they were strong, and they could move a little bit, maybe outside of Tom Brady. These are all the traits that are working today. Big, strong, and can move and be athletic at the quarterback position. Anthony Richardson has some of those traits that you're looking for. And why do I think this situation in Indianapolis has a chance to work? I think it has a chance to work for this reason right here. When it comes to Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and Matt Ryan, the 3 recent quarterbacks that have been hopeful guys for the Colts that have been there for a short period of time, I'll use a dating analogy. Those guys were partners that came into a relationship with some baggage, and their best days were behind them. They were kind of banged up. They were ran through, and they just weren't the best fit for that organization at the time. At the time, the Colts, they were this big chiseled guy, when they acquired these, set partners, they had most of the pieces in place, whether it be the defense, the offensive line, the run game, and maybe them as a partner, they weren't as chiseled as a Michael B. Jordan or a Channing Tatum, but they had a lot of boxes checked off. They were a good, stable partner that was ready to mingle with someone. They were just ready for that quarterback to come in and crush it. But as time went on, the Colts had to make up for the quarterback that they inherited and that they chose. They had to make up for their limitations. And they just weren't able to overcome it year after year. Every single year, it got worse. The Phillip Rivers year, they made the playoffs, but they lost in the playoffs. Carson Wentz, it flamed out late in the year. And Matt Ryan, absolute, utter disaster. It was a disaster, okay? But the Colts have completely hit the reset button with Anthony Richardson. He's smart, he's young, and he's all in just like the Colts are all in because Anthony Richardson wants to be with a team that wants him. And the Colts, they did their homework, they did their interviews, and they chose Anthony Richardson just like Anthony Richardson is going to choose them. Okay, and so there could be some major growing pains, but any great relationship has some major growing pains when you get together initially. And looking back at this, Anthony Richardson could be a total bust. Or he could become one of the true star quarterbacks in the NFL. So that is truly how I feel about Anthony Richardson. I think that he has the talent to be a good quarterback. There is some things that he needs to work on because I have some questions about his accuracy, okay? But he's a willing guy. He's big, he's strong, has most of the physical tools. And if he has the mental makeup to try to improve upon those skills, I believe Anthony Richardson could be the franchise quarterback the Colts are looking for if they put the right pieces around him. I do worry, however, about Jim Irsay because Jim Irsay, as I mentioned earlier, it's been ugly recently. He has already pitched in, his application for maybe being one of the worst owners in the entire NFL. That could be something that could hold the Colts back, but only time will tell. We shall see. I do believe in Anthony Richardson potentially as a talent, but only time will tell to see how he pans out.